And now, the best 60-ish seconds of your week. Well, the week began at Daytona with the President of the United States doing a flyover in Air Force One to the cheers of the throng below, and then taking a little spin on the 14,000-pound beast on the pace lap. And what a race it was. And the injury to Newman, thankfully, not life-threatening, and in fact, he walked out of the hospital on his own power just a few days later. And then the politics of the week and the Democratic debate in Nevada. Now, Mike Bloomberg had stayed out of the fray up until now, relying on his $400 million that he had spent largely on television advertising with slickly produced Madison Avenue stuff that was played in virtually every state across the nation. I mean, they were running ads here in my home state of Pennsylvania, which doesn't hold its primary until late April. Why were they doing that? To boost his national numbers and to get the press to pay more attention to his campaign. He stayed out of the debates up until now, but the Democrats nationally changed the rules so that he could be on the debate stage with 5 others in Nevada. And Mike Bloomberg had to have wished the minute he walked out that he had not made that decision, because it didn't take 3 minutes before Elizabeth Warren lit into him, and you saw the soft underbelly of Mike Bloomberg. Now, here was the guy who's supposed to be the great hope for the establishment Democrats to stave off the surging Bernie Sanders candidacy. But he proved that he really was not in any way, shape, manner, or form ready for prime time. I mean, here's a guy who was able to package himself so professionally with slick Madison Avenue stuff, but once he was unvarnished, once he was unscripted, once he had to really reveal himself, you realized there really wasn't much there. He looked as uncomfortable as a Presbyterian in hell during most of that debate. And what was his great line? He said that Bernie Sanders' programs were communist. Now, he's not too far off there, but Bernie Sanders is the guy now to beat in the Democratic primaries. Think about that. A man who wasn't even a Democrat just a few months ago, who attended his first Democratic National Convention 4 years ago, is the front runner for their nomination, with programs so far to the left that it would make any traditional Democrat blanch. And they know, the party pals over there, that while there's some appeal to free everything for everybody, that the price tag attached to them doesn't leave too many Americans very happy, because none of our friends and neighbors are saying, my life would be just a little bit better if only my taxes went up. So this free-for-all that the Democrats had the other night, a reality television program, and the stuff of which Saturday Night Live parodies are made, is now going to be replayed over and over and over again. Many pundits, including Mike Bloomberg himself, said Donald J. Trump was the big winner that night. Now, there's a lot of road left ahead of us, and we've got to take a little bit of a cautious view. But what happens in Nevada is going to be very interesting. How soon we see the results will be too. But then they move to South Carolina, where Joe Biden is hoping that his flailing campaign can somehow be rejuvenated on the strength largely of a disproportionate African-American vote there. It's roughly 30% of the electorate. By the way, a lot of Democrats in Nevada were breathing a sigh of relief that 75,000 plus voters there had already voted by the time that that debate took place because of early voting. But the Nevada and South Carolina primaries are merely the precursor to the big kahuna, Super Tuesday, where roughly a third of the Democrat delegates will be elected, including in big states like New York and California. And Sanders has a commanding lead at this point in California. So watch the Bernie surge. The socialism of the far left of the Democratic Party is on full display. Whether or not they can stave that off remains to be seen. But there are a lot of fractures there, and it makes a lot of Republicans happy. But they too should be cautious, because this is going to be a year unlike any other. And for now, that is the best 60-ish seconds of your week.